But I think to me what really like grounds the story and makes it something that we keep, you know, being fascinated by and wanting to come back to is that the themes that it explores in the end are very human and I think very relatable in a way. You know, the internal battle of trying to come to terms with, you know, things within yourself that you find hard to accept, you know, coming to terms with like seeing darkness or evil in the world and trying to grapple with that, you know, wanting to like create a better life for yourself and for your family, you know, all of these things I think are themes that are deeply human, and that's what kind of what keeps the story so close to us, I guess.
Yeah, that sums it up perfectly. Yeah, there's nothing I can add to that.
It's such an interesting subject to explore, and I think it's something that has been repressed for so long, and so, you know, there's so much there to talk about, and there's been kind of, in the grand scheme of things, so little time to talk about it. And so I think, you know, it's a better time than ever. And this is, you know, this one's an interesting one because, of course, the time period that Nosferatu is set in is one that was very different for women than ours today, and of course very different for women than it was for men at the time. And so I think, you know, for me, getting to explore a character like Ellen, who has so much more to her than I think was like societally, acceptable, you know, was fascinating because it creates a lot of problems for her, being kind of like different in any way or struggling with things that were kind of like, you know, uncouth, I guess, you know, at the time, and I think it speaks to like, yeah, just a larger theme of how women were treated at the time, or you know, and also just a larger theme of like what we're willing to accept within ourselves, how complicated we're willing to allow ourselves to be.
Yeah. Oh. No comment. I guess like,
yeah. You so beautifully answer the questions each time. I'm like, that's not that I think I can add anything to that. Like, this is great.
I think there's like an atmospheric feeling from Cries and Whispers and just like Bergman's films in general, which I love so much, and I know Rob does as well. There's a kind of like a heaviness and like a weight to all these moments, even to the silent moments. There are so many moments in Cries and Whispers where they're not even talking, and yet there's so much happening in their eyes or in just in their breathing. The breath is very cool and interesting in that movie. There's a moment that really stayed with me where she's like in the bed and she's going like, and she's like kind of like banging on her chest with her fist, and that's all that's happening, and it's so powerful. And that was very inspirational to me, that moment. But yeah, I think just like the weight of every moment, Bergman really knows how to just create that weight that really stays with you.
Couple of movies, and then the original one, Bela Lugosi as well. That would be both of those two would be the ones. But then also, I love Let the Right One In and Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, and those movies as well, which aren't necessarily Dracula movies, but you know, vampire lore movies, I guess, in some ways.
I would say Bela Lugosi. Just I loved his Dracula.
Yeah.
And on a kind of lighter note, my brother and I used to love Dracula Dead and Loving It as well, which is a really fun movie. But yeah, I think most kind of formative would be Bela Lugosi.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
The Count from Sesame Street.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, yeah, help me to learn to count.